What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA Saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on.
And in today's video I have to say that we have several news that are really important for the community. It is the end of the week, but we have two news that might change a lot in our Saga. And I have to say that first of all, FINRA denies to release the blue sheet, but their excuses are ridiculous. And on top of that, we have an article from Forbes, not from Wall Street Journal, that might bring a negative impact on our community. So, before we dive deep into all of this, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share this video with your friends and family, and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos is useful for the community. So, and let's start with the news itself. On MMTLPresources.com you can find this article that is titled FINRA files a petition to release the blue sheets. And let me quote you this. Near the last moments of their deadline, FINRA has filed their opposition to releasing the blue sheets. It's important to note that this motion to deny from FINRA is just FINRA's response. Attorney Mark Basile now has some time to respond to their motion to deny. Following this, oral arguments will occur over the Zoom and the judge will then rule. The full documents are available here, including all of their exhibits. Surprisingly, some of their documents are community member tweets and other community member lawsuit information. This definitely confirms that FINRA is monitoring you and all of us on social media. And I want to add to this statement that they not only monitor us, but they also don't have enough evidence and they don't have enough reasons in order to deny to release these blue sheets. And definitely it is quite good sign. So let me quote you further. Junk Savvy lists the 4 main points of opposition in a tweet, and let me show you this tweet in details. 4 points of opposition. First, the petition is woefully inadequate and fails on its face to state any meritorious case of action. Instead, petitioner is fishing for information in the hope of uncovering facts to support potential claims. Second, petitioner admits that he is seeking blue sheets data to identify a bias of liability, which is contrary to the intended purpose of permitting certain limited discovery under CPLR 3102. Third, the burdens imposed upon FINRA to respond to the pre-dispute disclosure request outweigh the merits of petitioner's purported claims. And this point is ridiculous for 100%. Finally, the blue sheet data FINRA has collected is protected from disclosure by the investigative file privilege. For these reasons, the petition should be denied. So, quite interesting statements, but let me quote you further this article. I have no doubt that attorney Mark Basile has prepared for all of these oppositions. The timeline now is FINRA response to court, June the 2nd, done. MMTLP response due to court by the end of next Friday, June the 9th. Oral arguments, Zoom or equivalent, with the judge should take place on June 13th, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Zoom court meeting will not be publicly accessible. Houston Wade made his excellent summary tweet, and he wrote, "Something bad happened and we have the evidence to show why it happened. But petitioner shouldn't be allowed to look at our evidence because it might make us look like the reason the bad thing happened." And I totally agree with Houston Wade, and definitely we have to be very cautious in any of our statements as a community and in person. So, let me quote you further. Meta News points out that their response includes that releasing the blue sheets would be too hard. And it says, FINRA also states that this would be a huge burden on their employees to produce the blue sheet data. I thought they already have the data, and who cares if it's a burden? It's their job. And yes, I completely agree with this statement. On top of that, they have this information and they can release it within one click of a button. Definitely, as simple as that, because it doesn't relate it to the real paperwork. It is just a couple of buttons should be pressed in order to release this information. So, and let me show you another quite interesting news. Forbes just several hours ago published this article, and it's titled "Newest Hard Take for MMTLP Investors. A former CEO tries to cover his tracks." And we all anticipated the so-called bad article from the Wall Street Journal, because recently due diligence had a conversation with the journalist from Wall Street Journal, and he thinks that the upcoming article will not be in MMTLP community's favor. That's why we have to be prepared for potentially another article. But first of all, let me show you the details in this one. So, we know that John Burda is about to file a lawsuit against a fake John Burda account. As you can see, fake account is John_Burda and real account is John Burda. And I have to say that this account is quite new. It was created this May, and the person who is standing behind the scenes of this account made a lot of work in order to blame John Burda that he's a liar and he made misleading statements and he lied to the MMTLP community. And let me quote you this paragraph. Here's where it gets interesting for Burda. He swore in the legal affidavit under penalty of perjury that he received 1.93 million NextBridge shares on June 28, 2021 and insisted he never sold any. But NextBridge didn't exist on that date. Burda actually received a dividend that would become MMTLP, which then became NextBridge. Further, Burda claimed to have held more than 1.93 million shares of MMTLP, 2.2 million to be exact. Burda didn't dispute that figure in a linked chat Friday with Forbes. And let me quote you further. Why does it matter? If Burda's timeline is correct, he was unloading shares and he tweeted that he did so over a 3-month period at various prices. At the same time, he was telling MMTLP shareholders as late as October 2022, less than 2 months before MMTLP stopped trading, that he hadn't sold any shares, while also giving buyers some handy hints on how they could buy more MMTLP. And just before trading was halted, he told shareholders how they were about to embark on the ultimate test of diamond hands, a Wall Street bets term meaning to hold on, don't sell. And John Burda responded to Forbes. "You are inferring I was pumping, which is 100% false," Burda told Forbes, referring to a scheme called pumping and dumping. Picking and choosing things to create a narrative doesn't work. Earlier in the conversation, Burda asked, "Why are you trying to split hairs on this? Any reasonable person can see what side of the house you are on. I sold MMTLP as mentioned above. I have never sold any MMAT, the ticker of MMTLP related stock. And by the way, it is no one's business if I did it, including Forbes and you." And to be honest, we have some facts that John Burda sold some of his shares, and probably he didn't tell to the community at that moment that he is selling at that moment. But right now he still holds more than 1.9 million shares. He has more than several millions stuck in MMTLP stock, and definitely this fact shows that John Burda will not surrender, and he will continue to fight for this resolution no matter what. And definitely this type of articles might appear in the future, and the main idea of this article is just to spread our community. And in order to not make it happen, please unite and hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share this video with the friends and family. This is the only way how we can attract more attention to this problem, and eventually we will solve this problem. So, and let me show you what Mark R. Basile wrote regarding this situation. And let me show you this. In response to the tweet of Brandon Kochkodin, when he mentioned about the fact of a new revised documents, Mark Basile wrote, "First, the corrective docs were filed before was published by Forbes, so that's an issue. Poor journalism, just like poor due diligence, or was it just an innocent mistake? In addition, the correction was to further clarify the facts for the court. This article has nothing to do with free speech as that stands, but your informed use of this article to try to prove a free speech point is complete and utter nonsense. No wonder only 25 people follow you. We know there are certain parties working behind the scenes to discredit John Burda, the real one, and the MMTLP community. So let the attorneys, let the lawyers do their job, and definitely Mark Basile is the lawyer of John Burda, and he has to step in, and he is stepping in right now. And definitely we cannot rely on this article. We just have to wait for the court's decision, and we have to see what will be the next step for us and for our counterparty in order to win this battle. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up.